Ghosting. Ghosting, or the unilateral disappearing from a commitment or relationship, has become normalized as a result of technology, online, dating apps, and social media that make it easy to disappear from a person's life. According to current research, approximately 30% of adults in the US have experienced ghosting at one time or another in the past 10 years. Ghosting is generally considered to be an unkind and passive-aggressive way of ending communication or a relationship, as it can leave the other party confused, hurt, and questioning what went wrong. When we are ghosted, our stress levels can skyrocket. This is because our brains perceive the situation as a threat and go into fight or flight mode to protect us from potential harm. However, in the case of ghosting, there is no physical danger to respond to, leaving us confused and uncertain. While there may an occasional more acceptable reason, such as safety, for someone to ghost, let's discuss some of the more common reasons and traits of people who ghost. Ghosting behavior is often a result of communication issues, emotional immaturity, lack of empathy, fear of commitment, aversion to conflict, and/or avoidant behavior. People choose to ghost for a variety of reasons, though most of these reasons stem from a desire to avoid confrontation, discomfort, or difficult conversations. On a basic level, someone might ghost because they lose interest in a relationship or connection, meet someone else, perceive the relationship as not being serious or significant. However, on a deeper level, ghosting usually comes from a fear of confrontation, commitment, and conflict. Here are detailed explanations of why people may choose to ghost. Keep in mind that ghosting statistics nearly doubles to 58.5% among those displaying dark triad personality. The term dark triad refers to a trio of negative personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy, which share some common malevolent features. Number 1. Fear of confrontation. Confrontation involves facing uncomfortable or difficult conversations, and for many people, these situations can trigger feelings of anxiety, stress, and unease. Confrontation often requires some level of conflict resolution and communication skills. Childhood experiences and past traumas can significantly influence an individual's approach to conflict, communication, and confrontation. Some individuals naturally cope with stress by avoiding situations that make them uncomfortable. Ghosting offers a way to quickly escape confrontation and bypass the discomfort associated with it. Number 2. Communication issues. For some, communication issues can play a significant role in the choice to ghost. Communication skills are essential for expressing emotions, setting boundaries, and navigating relationships effectively. When someone struggles with communication, they might resort to ghosting as a way to avoid the challenges associated with expressing themselves. Communication issues can be rooted in a person's upbringing and childhood experiences. When someone grows up in an environment where open expression of emotions was discouraged or met with negative responses, it can greatly influence their ability to communicate effectively in their adult relationships. Number 3. Emotional immaturity. Emotional immaturity, a lack of emotional awareness, regulation, and understanding, can play a significant role in one's choice to ghost. When someone is emotionally immature, they might struggle to navigate complex emotions and handle relationships in a healthy and respectful manner. An emotionally immature person may also ghost someone to avoid taking responsibility for their actions or to get out of an uncomfortable situation. Emotional immaturity can lead to a focus on short-term desires and discomfort avoidance, rather than considering the potential long-term effects of their actions. Number 4. Low empathy. When someone has low empathy, they might struggle to truly grasp the emotional impact of their actions on others, making it easier for them to ghost without considering the hurt it can cause. People with low empathy might have difficulty forming strong emotional connections with others, which can lead them to be less sensitive to the feelings of those they interact with. Low empathy can also be associated with a more self-centered perspective, so some individuals might prioritize their own comfort over the feelings of others. Number 5. Commitment issues. Ghosting might be seen as an easier way to end interactions without having to confront their fears of commitment. People with commitment issues might fear being vulnerable and opening themselves up to emotional intimacy. They might feel overwhelmed by the prospect of this intimacy and choose ghosting as a way to escape it. Commitment issues can stem from a strong desire for independence and autonomy or from negative past experiences, such as heartbreak, abandonment, or childhood trauma. Number 6. Mindset. If someone has an avoidance mindset or a fear-based mindset, they might prioritize avoiding discomfort or conflict over addressing issues directly. Ghosting can be seen as a way to protect oneself from these fears and avoid challenging conversations. Number 7. Self-protection. Self-protection in this context refers to the act of safeguarding one's emotional well-being or sense of security, often by avoiding potentially uncomfortable or difficult conversations. Ghosting can also be used in situations where there are valid concerns for personal safety, boundaries, or emotional well-being. Individuals who have experienced negative outcomes from previous relationship discussions might use ghosting as a strategy to prevent similar pain. In some cases, ghosting is a method of self-protection. Number 8. Attachment style. Different attachment styles can impact how someone handles separation, closeness, and communication in relationships. People with an avoidant attachment style tend to value independence and self-sufficiency. These individuals might struggle with emotional intimacy and thus use ghosting to distance themselves without confronting emotional closeness. People with a fearful avoidant attachment style have mixed feelings about close relationships. They desire emotional intimacy but fear getting hurt, so ghosting might be used to protect themselves from potential pain. Those with a disorganized attachment style might struggle with confusion and inconsistency in relationships due to unresolved trauma or inconsistent caregiving. Ghosting might occur as a response to feelings of confusion or emotional turmoil. Ghosting can have significant emotional, psychological, and relational effects on the person who is being ghosted. Ghosting often leaves the person feeling confused about what happened and why the communication abruptly ended. They might replay past interactions, trying to make sense of the sudden silence. Being ghosted can lead to feelings of hurt and rejection. The person might wonder if they did something wrong or if they were not valued by the ghoster. This can also negatively affect one's self-esteem and self-worth, as they might question their desirability or worthiness of meaningful relationships. Ghosting can also lead to anxiety, trust issues, doubt, and emotional baggage that can affect other aspects of a person's life and future relationships. So why is it easy to ghost someone? Ghosting can sometimes feel like an easier option in certain situations because it enables you to avoid confrontation and any uncomfortable, anxiety-inducing conversations. It provides an immediate way to end communication without having to explain oneself or deal with the immediate aftermath of a breakup. It allows a person to avoid taking responsibility for their actions or the impact of their behavior on the other person. Ghosting has been more normalized today as the ease of digital communication allows for quick disconnection without having to face the person directly. Instead of ghosting someone, it's important to approach the situation with empathy, honesty, and respect. Communicating openly can help both parties understand the reasons behind the decision and provide closure. The best approach is to simply be honest. Explain your feelings, concerns, or reasons for wanting to end the communication while remaining kind and considerate in your delivery. However, there are a few circumstances when it can be more understandable to ghost someone. If someone is in an abusive or potentially dangerous situation, if the other person is exhibiting stalking behavior or harassment, if someone is in a relationship with someone who consistently manipulates, guilt trips, or emotionally harms them, if the person repeatedly disrespects their boundaries and ignores their requests to be left alone. Healthy relationships are built on respect and consideration for one another. Ghosting breaks down this foundation by disregarding the need for open and honest communication. If someone ghosts you, respect the dead and never disturb them again. Thanks for watching In Spiritual Journey. Until next time.